welcome to Lilybug's Library, or welcome back if you've been here before. And my name's Linda, so thanks for joining me today. So today is Tag Tuesday, so we're going to do a book tag. And I'd love to know in the comments below, like, do you enjoy these book tags? Do you wish I'd stop doing them? Feel free to let me know. So this one is called Oh, the Places You'll Go, based on the Dr. Seuss book. And I got it from Book Chat with Pat. Excuse me. So for each one, there's two prompts based on a sentence in the book. And one is the book prompt and one is the life prompt. So we'll go over those. And if you hear noise in the background, it's Dudley. He's going crazy today. He's just all over the place. Matter of fact, I did start filming this and eventually just gave up and stopped because I was just constantly running after him. So we'll see how this goes. He's apparently got spring fever or something. I don't know. All right. So the first one is which direction you choose. And it says book prompt. What's the first place you go in a bookstore? If you're looking for genre, I'd say probably mystery. But in general, probably the first place I go is, new releases or maybe the bargain bin. But yeah, genre-wise, I think it's definitely mystery. Life prompt. What is the biggest life decision you've made that has impacted your life? So sometimes I think it's the little things, the little decisions that impact your life. You just don't realize it. But as far as big decisions, there's been quite a few over the years, but I'd say certainly one of the biggest ones that's impacted my life, certainly in a positive way, would be that I quit smoking about 25 years ago. So, yeah, that certainly made a difference. And then the next one is too smart to go down any not so good street. And the book prompt is what did you used to read that you don't read anymore? So I think the only thing I can think of is horror. I used to read horror when I was in my probably 20s, and I don't read that anymore. And I don't know, I don't think I was any braver when I was in my 20s, but maybe a little more naive. I don't know, but I just don't have the capacity for it anymore. I don't find I get engaged with the story. I find it just upsets me, so I just don't. And some of them I'm tempted by. Some of them you read the little blurb on it, and it's like, oh, that sounds so good, but I know that I probably can't do it. So, it is what it is. The next one is what have you learned either as a hobby or an education that you value the most? I don't know if there's anything I learned as a hobby necessarily that I place that kind of value on. I think as education, obviously learning to read I value the most, but other than that, I think probably my love of history came from education. And not saying that I had, good or bad history teachers, and sometimes what they teach can be super boring. But that's, I think that's the curriculum more than, as much as anything. So whether it was good or bad, growing up, I did discover that I really enjoyed history and enjoyed learning about places in history and whether history repeats itself and all of those things. So I think that was certainly something I really got out of it. You'll be seeing great sights. Pick a book with an attractive cover. So there's so many books with attractive covers, really and truly. But I really like this one. I thought it was really, really pretty. All the blues, and then it's got the bird and the flower in blue. And nothing special on the spine, just the title and things. But I do like that one. I think it's very pretty. Anything that's got a lot of vibrant colors and things, I think always looks nice. What is the most beautiful place that you visited? Well, if we're talking about visiting, I think every place has some beauty to it. In some ways, I think Disney World was the most beautiful place I visited, just because it just brought my childhood to life. It's like it's over the top, and it's you just become a child when you walk through those gates for sure. Um, but I think I live in one of the most beautiful places. I live in Nova Scotia, and it's got ocean, it's got lighthouses, it has beaches, it has pine forests, it has, um, it has everything that I would consider beautiful in nature. So I think I'm just blessed to live here, and I think it's pretty beautiful. The next thing is you'll be best of the best. And it says, what do you feel confident that you know a lot about with regards to books? Hmm. What do I know a lot about with regards to books? Um, I know enough not to keep reading them if I don't like them. I don't think that counts, but what do I know a lot about? A lot about with regards to books. I don't know really. I mean, I know what I like, I know what I don't like. Um, I think I know a good turn of phrase. I can tell, that someone's put some effort into it, um, and did their research if it's something that needed research. Um, I mean, I've read enough cozy mysteries. You'd think I'd know how to write one, but not so sure about that. Um, yeah, that's the only things I can think of, really. What would be your specialist subject on Mastermind? I don't know what Mastermind is, so not sure I can totally answer this right, but I assume it's some kind of a game show or something. But my specialist subject would probably be either herbs, because I make my own herbal teas, and I've studied a lot about foraging and things like that, or ancient Egypt. It's a subject I've had a fascination with for a while, so I could probably hold my own in a discussion about that. I don't know if I'd say I'm a specialist in any of them, but probably one of those two. Um, except when you don't. Okay, so it's you'll be the best of the best, except when you don't. So it's the book prompt is, what kind of books do you feel that you don't relate to? You don't relate to. I mean, sometimes it would probably be some of um, the romances where the characters are fairly young, like they're early 20s or something. Sometimes, depending on what the book is like, it can be a little hard to relate to those. Um, can't really think of anything else I don't relate to. I mean, if the author's is good, I would think you'd be able to somehow relate to most books. Um, Maybe some of the classics that I've been trying to read. It's like because they did take place so long ago, and because the language is different and things, it's sometimes hard to relate to those. Life prompt: what is something you've stopped doing or that you've given up on? Um, I guess one thing I've given up on is sewing, or any kind of, or not necessarily sewing, but any kind of needlework like cross stitch and knitting and those sort of things. My hands are just getting too stiff and things for that, and they're too sore, so I really can't do that anymore. Um, and the other thing I'm trying to give up on is guilt and perfectionism. So, depends on the day. I had a flare up in my fibromyalgia over the weekend, and I know it's because I tried to do too much, and then the weather was kind of crummy, and I wasn't sleeping. There was lots of reasons, I'm sure. But when it gets to the point where I really have a hard time walking and sitting, and when the pain is at a high level, it's hard not to feel guilty when you can't do things, or, to want to push yourself even more because you want to be perfect, even though you don't necessarily think of it that way. So I'm trying to give up on those. And the next one is called The Waiting Place. It says, name a book you're excited to read that's on your TBR. Usually with my TBR, I'm excited to read everything. It's just I can't get to everything. Probably the one that I'm excited to read right now is the one that I had talked about in a previous video called Early One Morning. And it's the one about the woman who takes the boy off the bus that he's on that's going to like a German prison camp, a Nazi concentration camp. And she took the boy and claimed him as her nephew, I think. But there was a lot that happened after that were consequences of that. So I think I love World War II books. I guess that could be another specialist subject. But I think that's probably the one that I'm most excited to read. But there are so many. What in general are you looking forward to the most this year? I guess I'm really just generally looking forward to summer. Usually a wonderful husband will take some vacation. Even if we don't go anywhere, it's nice to just like go downtown to a cafe or walk on the waterfront, or sit on our balcony and drink coffee. It's just nice to have him around more and for us to be able to get out and do things and enjoy the sunshine. Living where we do, we get a lot of snow, and it takes a while for summer to get here, but it's beautiful when it does, so I'm going to enjoy every moment. And then the next one is the balancing act. Talk about balancing your time between general life and putting out content on BookTube. I think I balance it fairly well. I'm not nearly putting out as much as some people, and that's fine. I'm not trying to do this as a full-time job, not yet anyway. I mean, we'll see what the future brings. But I think what slows me down is the health issues, and not always feeling like I want to put out content or even be seen. So sometimes that takes a bit of balance, but I think I'm doing okay with it. And then tag others. So I'm not going to tag anyone because I think a lot of people have probably already done this. But if you are watching and you feel like doing it, consider yourself tagged. So a few other things before I go. I don't know if you noticed, but I did get my wall painted behind me. Wonderful sun came and took care of that for me, so that was great. And whether or not the video does it justice, it looks beautiful, so I'm very happy with it. And then today I'm going to go try something I've never tried before, so wish me luck. I've decided to try electrolysis, like the laser stuff. As you age, you get hair in places you don't really want hair, so I decided to give that a shot. I may regret it. I don't know how painful it is. I don't really know that much about it, and I don't know how it'll look when it's done, whether I'll be all red in that spot, or I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to go see. And, if I'm wearing a mask the next time you see me, you'll know it didn't go well. And if you see me in the next video and I'm wearing the same thing, it's probably because I'm going to try to video a book haul today as well. We'll see if I get to that. So otherwise, it is looks beautiful outside. It's probably still cold, but but it looks nice, and I think it's supposed to get a little tiny bit warmer. So I'll enjoy that and go for a nice walk and see how the day goes. All right. Talk to you soon, friends. Bye-bye.